Hey Karoo and Nikki, I am at the Salton Sea and I've just hung out here and played the guitar and sang for a while and had a good time. And I think I'm going to eat some food and then go home, but it's been a fun little visit here. It's really pretty and shockingly it smells like the ocean. I know, hard to believe that a sea smells like the ocean. But anyway, it was cool because I went to the visitor center for the Salton Sea and watched a little video. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I didn't know this until now, but it used to be part of the ocean here. And then eventually sands filled in and it formed a barrier and the sea obviously receded to the south. And then it became a freshwater lake. And then the waterways that fed it diverted and it dried up completely and just became this open plain with huge salt deposits. And so when settlers arrived here, the European settlers, they started mining the salt, and then they realized that the soil, once they mined the salt, was really good for growing things. So they hired a couple guys to build irrigation canals from the south and east from the current course of the Colorado River. And so they diverted some water into the valley through irrigation canals and started growing stuff, and were very successful. And then I'm not sure why, but for some reason their irrigation canals were stopped up. They were in Mexico. The water's coming through Mexico, so I suspect the Mexicans had something to do with it. Could be wrong. And so the settlers snuck into Mexico and dug alternative routes for the water, alternative canals. And so they end up with a series of drainages coming out of the Colorado River feeding this area. And it was all very soft soil that had been deposited when the water had receded to the south. So then a couple of years later there was a huge flood in the Colorado River, and it not only did it come in this area, but it completely washed out all of the area, the different canals that connected, and formed one huge channel and diverted the entire Colorado River into this basin. And there's right now I'm at like 230 feet. Is that right? 230? I can't remember. Anyway, below sea level. I think it's 230 feet, he said. So it's a huge hole here, and it was empty. And so the water just kept flowing from the Colorado River into this lake, and it took them 16 months to divert the water back into its normal channel. And in that time, you ended up with this huge lake here. And so it was a huge freshwater lake, but then, of course, it had no source, and it's not draining anywhere. So it's this gigantic freshwater lake that slowly became more salinized, and now it has more than twice the salinity of the oceans. And so it's killed all of the fish that were in here, except for tilapia is the only species of fish that can survive in this lake. It's not nearly as salty as the Great Salt Lake, but yeah, it's fascinating. So it's still receding, and it's funny because I was at the visitor center and they're like, we need to figure out a way to solve this problem of the salinity in order to preserve this wonderful habitat for migrating birds, because it's irreplaceable. And I was thinking, wait a second, this lake has only been here, well, it's been here on and off, but in its present form, it's only been here for, 150 years? And the birds survived before it was here, and I don't know. So it seems like it's I don't even know what to think about it. But it's a cool place. I like it. And the lake is 55 miles long, or 35 miles long, and 15 miles at the widest. It's 11 miles wide here where you're looking over my shoulder. I don't know if you can see. But now you know all about the Salton Sea. So I hope you guys are having a good time. I will talk to you soon. Take care.